What is up, everyone? Movie Wayne back again with another video. Now I just want to say I hope you all had a great Christmas and a happy new year. I'm recording this on New Year's Eve, so I hope you all have a great time what you decide to do, and all the best for 2024. Now this is going to be another Blu-ray and 4K update. I've got a few things to show here that I got for Christmas and stuff. Most of these are 4Ks or Blu-rays, but there's a few games to show at the end as well. I could have showed a lot of games in my last updates, but I just haven't. But maybe from now on, I'll just show them towards the end. And I'll have a wrap-up of what I watched in December coming very soon as well. It's one of the busiest months I've had of the year. Probably the busiest, to be honest. So I've got a lot to talk about that I'm looking forward to talking about with you guys there. But let's just get into it now. Now, these are all movies. Like my dad said, what films do you want? And he kept asking me and asking me. And in the end, I just sent him my list of movies that I've got that I want to own in the collection. And he picked a few for me. And there was one box set on there. And he made sure he got it for me. And that is the Mummy Trilogy. Now, this is a film. I've seen the first one of these years ago, but I can't really hardly remember it. But when I see Brendan Fraser's resurgence, you know, in The Whale and stuff, and he's been in Oppenheimer and stuff like that, I kind of wanted to go back and revisit these movies. He's come out in a few... he's come out lately and said that he would like to return to this franchise if it ever happens again. So, you know what? It just made me want to watch these movies again. I feel like everyone's seen these except me. But I remember liking the first one years ago, but I just can't really remember too much about it. So looking forward to giving these three a watch. I've heard the third one isn't great, but we'll see. Next up, we have a movie that I've wanted to rewatch since I've seen it at the cinema, because I didn't really grasp it all that much, and I think the movie just moved a little bit too quickly for me at the time. I was very tired that night. It was like late on a Friday night, and I've wanted to watch it again because a lot of people are putting it very high on their top 10 list, and a lot of Christopher Nolan films make me appreciate them more on rewatch, and that is Oppenheimer. Now, Cillian Murphy plays this guy called Oppenheimer who basically invents the nuclear bomb. And it's a very long movie, like it's 3 hours. And, you know, I think that really didn't help me at the time. But I want to give this another watch. I really do. And hopefully I'll find the time very soon to watch this. I've heard it looks great on 4K. Christopher Nolan, I think, had a hand in, you know, this 4K coming out and stuff like that. And he's a big champion of physical media. So, really excited to watch this one again. So that is Oppenheimer. Next up, we have John Wick Chapter 4. I don't think I loved this movie as much as everyone else, but I still had a great time with it. It's in my top 20 of the year out of 90 films I watched. I don't think it's the strongest John Wick film, but there's some action scenes in here that are breathtaking, especially one where it does a big overhead shot and it's kind of like a shoot, a kind of top-down video game, basically. How they directed that, I will never know, because it's so great to look at, and it does feel like a chapter that has a lot of meaning to it, possibly even more than part 3, really. You know, there's a lot more juice to it, but it's still it's a solid movie in a solid franchise. I give all these the same score, even though some are slightly better than others, but it's a solid film, you know, and I'm looking forward to giving this a watch again. That is John Wick 4. Now, this is another one, kind of like Oppenheimer, where in the cinema, I was really tired. Like, look, in the middle of the year there, I was just really going to bed so late and getting up so early. But I had my youngest waking up through the middle of the night at the same time. And lately, I've learned to just go to bed earlier, and I feel a lot better. But in the middle of the year there, I just wanted to stay up all the time, and it did me no good. And I went to see SpiderMan Across the Spider-Verse and felt very tired during this movie as well, kind of like Oppenheimer. And I just wanted to rewatch it ever since. And the other night, I rewatched it. I made sure I was going to watch at least one of them before the end of the year. And you know what? This was so much better this time around. Now, I actually watched Into the Spider-Verse at the start of the month. I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man 2 this month, just platinumed it the other day, and I was in a Spidey mood. So I watched Into the Spider-Verse at the start of the month, and that again was a movie I didn't love first time. I thought it was good, enjoyed it a hell of a lot more on rewatch, and the same with this. I do feel like the first movie is the strongest because it feels like a fully fledged story. This one ends on a cliffhanger, and it just didn't give me that full fulfillment at the end, because we've got to wait for the next one, and God knows when that's coming out. But I really did like this movie a lot more on rewatched. I had it like 35th on my end of the year ranking. It's now moved into my top 10. The animation is absolutely gorgeous. The moment where he is trying to escape this spider hub and all these Spider-Men are chasing him is, I can't quite believe how they put that on screen. I was looking at it going, wow, this is amazing. Got a great story with Gwen Stacy as well. There's like 2 stories going on in this film. And I just thought I thought it was really great. You know, one of the best animated films I've seen, along with the first one. So, a Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So happy I give this another watch. Really enjoyed it a lot more on rewatch. Next up is a movie I asked my dad for because I missed it at the cinema and I had so many great things about it, and it looks like my type of film. The trailer looked amazing, and that is Cesu. And I actually watched this the other day as well. Doing well here, you know. Watched a lot of these movies up to now, and this is, unfortunately, doesn't have much story to it, but what it lacks in story makes up for in great action scenes, great violent moments. And this is basically this guy who's at the end of the war. He's basically had enough of the war and he's going to do his own thing now. And the Nazis are clearing out of Finland, and he's coming across them on his travels in the outback and stuff. And these Nazis are trying to kill him because he's got this bunch of gold on him. And he just takes them all out one by one in the most delicious ways. There's mines getting thrown at people here. There's people being thrown out of planes. Knives through people's heads. The gore just goes for it. And this guy is as cool as you like, the main character of this film. So I had a good time with it. I do recommend it if action movies are your type of thing. Sort of done in a Tarantino style at times. I had a really good time with this one. The 4K looked excellent as well. So glad to have finally seen this before the end of the year. Had a lot of fun with it. That is Cesu. Next up, we got a Steelbook, which is very rare for me. But my dad said, do you mind if I get you the Steelbook? Because I think it was better price or something. He didn't mind if he wanted to get me to get the other one. But I don't care. You know, as long as I've got the movie and the disc, it's nice to have good packaging and stuff. But obviously, the Steelbooks is a lot better for some people. I can take it or leave, Steelbook or Amaray. I don't mind. But that is Creed 3. Now, I do own the other 2 on normal 4K, but I've got this one on Steelbook. So, like I said, it doesn't bother me at all. And yeah, this was a really good third entry into the Creed franchise. What's his name? Bloody, the main guy in this. Oh, I forgot his name. No, come on, Jordan. He's got your name in his name. Michael B. Jordan. How can I forget that? My name is Jordan, for God's sake. Michael B. Jordan directed this movie, and I thought he'd done a great job behind the camera. I really liked how it incorporated a story into this one, a lot more than Creed 2 and 1 did, really. It basically goes back, flashbacks to Michael B. Jordan's life, Creed's life, should I say, at the start of the movie, with his friend, played by Jonathan Majors. Now, they got into a little bit of trouble. Jonathan Majors comes out of prison after a good few years and wants to become a boxer, because he was the one with all the talent as a kid, and he's kind of jealous of Michael B. Jordan's character, Creed, again, should I say. And he gets Creed to sort of train him up a little bit there. So yeah, it's a good one. My biggest problem with it was the final fight. I wished Michael B. Jordan, after doing so well with behind the camera, didn't take that directional choice. In the third act, the middle fight is much better. And that's usually the big finale of these films, isn't it? The final fight. But overall, still a solid entry into the Creed franchise. And I believe a 4th one is coming out as well. Next up, we have a very guilty pleasure movie. This is actually in my top 10 of the year. And I've seen people say this is one of the worst movies of the year. But I loved it. And that is Fast X. Now, I maybe have been on the Fast and Furious train leading up to this, because I had never seen any of them apart from the first one, and I watched them all with my wife leading up to this one, and we had such a great time with it, and we kind of thought this one was one of the best. Some really ridiculous stunts in this movie. Basically, I love the bit where Michelle Rodriguez's character is on a bike. Obviously, it's not her, it's a stuntman. You know, she sort of does this big endo over this bar that Jason Momoa has just dropped behind them. I thought that was awesome. One of the best stunts I've seen in all of these films. Jason Momoa himself was one of the best villains, possibly the best villain in the entire franchise. He's kind of like the Joker. He's just having so much fun. I thought he was great. And yeah, just a really fun movie. Again, it suffers from Across the Spider-Verse, where it hangs on a bit of a cliffhanger. Kind of wish it didn't do that, but I had a great time with Fast X. What can I say? It's one of the best in the franchise for me. Shoot me, I enjoyed this movie. Now, next up, we have something my wife got me for Christmas. I asked for it, and it's something I'm really dying to check out. I did plan to watch it over Christmas, but I just haven't got round to it. I've been mainly watching movies that I missed out on in 2023, to try and see before the end of the year. But that is RoboDoc. Now, I've heard about this being in development for such a long time. I followed the Facebook page for years. I think it's took about 6 years to make this. And it's a 5-hour documentary about the making of the first movie. Now, I am one of the biggest RoboCop fans out there, and a lot of people might be saying, why didn't you just watch it on Prime then? But I wanted to own this Blu-ray, and I just think it's a little bit more special if you pop the disc in and watch it for yourself whenever you want to. And I just wanted this in the collection as well. I feel like I've got to have the documentary to my favourite film of all time. This is something I've been getting into lately. I watched Pennywise, the story of it, finally got round to Never Sleep Again. And, I've been watching quite a few horror documentaries lately, but I really wanted to see this one. It's got all the characters in there, I believe, all the villains and everything. Man, just talking about this now is making me want to watch it tonight. So yeah, really looking forward to checking this out, and I'll probably check out all the special features as well to make it like a 6-hour round thing. But yeah, can't wait to check this out. Probably my favourite pickup out of all these. So yeah, that is RoboDoc, the creation of RoboCop. Next up, we have 3 movies now that were given to me by my cousin because he's getting rid of his Blu-rays. He only collects certain Blu-rays now. And he said, do you want any of these? And he showed me a big pile, and there was only 3 I didn't have. I thought, you know what, I'll give them a go. First one is Notting Hill, a movie I've never seen. My wife loved this movie, and she's desperate to watch it with me because she hasn't seen it for years. So I'll probably be watching this one sometime in January. I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's quite a famous movie, from a British movie. A bit of a rom-com, I believe. So yeah, looking forward to checking that out. Hugh Grant's just in everything these days, isn't he? I went to watch Wonka the other day. He was great in that. And we also have these 2 films, which are, I don't know which one is, I think this one is the first one. That is Night Watch and Day Watch, vampire fantasy films, I believe. Don't know too much about them, but we'll see. But I'll just have to see. Yeah, it's like a battle between light and darkness. I don't know if these are any good, guys. Let me know down below if you've seen them, but I thought I'd give them a go. Bit of horror, vampire movies in there. Next up, we just have 3 video games that I got. First one, Super Mario RPG. I played this on an emulator years ago and thought it was great, but I really want to give this go on a Switch with all the updated graphics and stuff. Mario is just you can just get into so many different Mario games, can't you? I'm currently playing Mario Wonder, and it's awesome. So this will be the next Switch game I play. Looking forward to that. Dead Space. I missed out on this game. I love survival horror games. I played this on the 360, but I've heard this is a true remake. So looking forward to checking that out. And we do have Metal Gear Solid 1, the Master Collection. Metal Gear Solid Volume 1, the Master Collection, which has got Metal Gear Solid, my second favourite game of all time. Can't wait to jump back into that. Metal Gear Solid 2, Sons of Liberty, and Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater. All fantastic games. I love 1 and 3 the best, but 2 is pretty solid as well. So I'm really looking forward to revisiting these on the PS5. I really want to wait till I get a Portal-like thing to get on these, but I don't know. I might jump into them soon. So thanks so much, everyone. That is my latest Blu-ray, 4K, and video game pickup haul. Are any of these movies any good? What do you think of these pickups? Please let me know. And if you want more of these, they'll be down below as well. Thanks so much, everyone. You take care, and I'll see you on the next video.